All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are backstage, Eternal MMA 92. I couldn't get Cam Rowston, so I got the guy that came second, Alfred Stoddart. How are you?
Cam bailed on him so bad. He was just like, that's the guy who said Bertag's going to make it only instead of talking about me, and just ran away, as he should.
Now,
Buy my shirts, people. Buy my shirts. They're made by an actual artist with a gallery and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's like got galleries all around the world.
So how did you feel? Obviously, he came off Cam Rowston, obviously Dana White Contender Series, UFC's Hunter Campbell in the crowd. Probably here to watch him as well, but like...
He was?
Yeah, he was there.
Maybe he should have performed better.
No, you did well. But like, he's top quality, you know, Cam Rowston. But I mean, how does it feel? I'm sure that doesn't take the sting out of it anymore.
It does, hilariously enough, because it's just like... Usually when I go up against these guys, they knock my ass out in the first 2 minutes. Like,
that is true. We do always say you either get knocked out really early in the fight or you put on a masterclass. This one...
And now I'm like in the perfect middle spot, because my last fight was kind of a decision, and then this fight I didn't get knocked out. So I guess I've like found my way to becoming a boring fighter.
Have you found a way to, you know, is it maybe guys you can fight where it's not like top 2 guys every single time? You know, look at your resume.
Yeah, I've fought like what, 8 fights in 2 years at this point. I've been in camp. Like, I got forced to take a rest by going to Vegas because I made the mistake of going when the gym was closed. And that's the first time my body's been like, oh, good, we actually get to legitimately rest after 17 weeks of camp, 17 months of a camp. And the problem, the division was thin. So it's like, and they also didn't want to fight. They like wanted to like make their way to the UFC, like pick and choose. So it's like, it sucked, but I wanted to fight. I don't want to end up in a point where I'm like 35 with 5 fights, and it's like, hey, I'm 5-0, but I'm now 35. But it's good, but I think I'm moving down to 77 at this point. Sean called me a 155er. That hurt.
Sean Strickland.
Yeah, I walked in, and he's just like, oh, yeah, you're a big guy, huh? Like 155, 170. I was just like, I've been eating American food for 5 days. What do you mean, 155? And then the 185ers walked in, and they're all 103 kilos. Like minimum, and I was like, oh, I see what you're saying.
So you sparred with him? How'd you go against Sean Strickland?
It was fun. Like, really interesting style. I bit a lot of it in this fight as well. Like on the feet, like every time Cam threw something, I was seeing it. And I was like, oh, Sean Strickland did this to me, and I'm doing this to you. I can see the shots. It made me a lot more composed in the striking, which I definitely credit Sean Strickland and Extreme Couture in general. Even though I was there only for like 3 days, with the fact that this fight went the full length and I didn't get hurt at all, because it's like I learned a level of composure where instead of getting into these fights with these guys with crazy records or just crazy experience and assuming they know more than I do, I was sparring 15-3 pros in the UFC minimum who were bigger than me, and all the stuff I was doing was kind of working, and then it felt like normal, like a regular spar, and then it kind of settled me mentally. Whereas, like, I got to showcase what I needed to do this time around.
So who do you want at 170, and when do you want to get back in there?
I want the winner of this. Nah. I'm fighting cans at 170. I need to fix my record. My record is horrible. Like, fuck the 4-4 shit. I want to get to like 10-4, and all the people I'm fighting are fucking 50-year-olds. Like, I am outright stating it. Apparently, you can be quoted as like the best ever as long as you just beat up people who you're significantly better than, but their record looks better.
Who's that? Who's that a shot at?
That's a shot at a lot of people. You could name 1 billion Dagestanis. You can name Khabib's entire first 10 fights.
Oh, man.
Some gang shit. Anyway, as for 70, I say there's a lot more fights there, but I haven't actually looked at the division of the people who are there. I mean, I see Martinez and Thingy are fighting today, and I was like, I don't know.
There's a lot less than there was. Welterweight was stacked. It doesn't seem as stacked recently.
Middleweight's still so empty. The reason I decided to move down to 77 isn't because to avoid people like Blair Bertak. I am avoiding Blair Bertak. I'm scared shitless. I'm not joking. He fucking frightens me. Like, if I shoot, sure, but if I don't shoot, yeah, I'm admitting it out loud. But it's because even in the US, there was a guy there who he moved from LA to Vegas because he's like, oh, I don't have any middleweights to like train with. And then also it was really hard for me finding fights, and I was like, I've heard from Damien from Beatdown as well that the middleweights even in Japan are getting moved up to heavyweight and et cetera, because there just isn't enough fights, enough people for the fights I want to have. I want to have A lot of fights this year. I want to have 5 fights this year, and can't really do that, like fighting unless I start bullying people, basically, like picking people who I have such a significantly now higher experience gap than, which just won't actually look good in the end run. I want to get those rounds in and get some frequency with some people with some significant experience.
All right, mate, we'll let you rest up, and I can't wait to stir up some shit when you're in 170.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll be weight bullying like a motherfucker. So steer all the shit up. It's perfect because now I have an advantage.